the third one that I'm putting up now, and I didn't intend to put any up because I really don't feel like it. I'm so sick. The fumes have just been horrible. I'm allergic to chemicals. If anybody cares to go back and listen to any of the tapes, I've done videos over a year and a half. And Facebook, my Facebook, somebody's hacked it. I'm not sure that my information is still on it. I'm 76 years old this week really, and I'm allergic to chemicals. And when I'm force-fed toxic fumes, like in a small room and it's deliberately done, and I'm not going to try to go into the background on it, I've put it on here and I run out of video. And that's exactly, it's been deliberate. My immune system attacks itself, and it causes all inflammation. Even the medicine that I have to use, if I'm around the chemicals, can damage the kidney. So over the years since I came here to Roanoke, it's my liver, my kidneys, my heart. What's really bad is the last couple of months, whatever's been used, because I lived in one of their places in Troutville near here, and they brought in their plaster and all of it and was redoing everything so I could photograph that, but really they had the fumes pouring in there before I could photograph all that and say and point to that, because they've done it deliberately, and you can't see it like cutting the lights off, the electricity off on me. But here's what they're doing, and I hope one day that I get to see these people put behind bars where they belong. It's assault, it's conspiracy. I don't know how many laws have been broken in it, besides what it's done to my body and quality of life. I'm paying to be gassed with chemicals to have a place to live. So I come back here. This is Quality and Thorough, and I tried putting this up on the last two tapes, and I run out. 14 months I lived here, and at least I lived. The lights went off here, and I'm in almost the same room because my rooms are controlled. Well, law enforcement's a part of what's happening, doing it to me. They get things on people or on their kids, and they drop the charges or lessen them if they'll do things to me. And this is exactly it. I ran in a political campaign. I say this to let you know the gravity of it. They have a political campaign in '83, was flown out to Larry Flint's because I'd written a book about medical malpractice, book about mind control murders and doctors. Larry McDonald, U.S. Congressman and doctor, was a subject in the book. And Larry Flint had been shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, while I was doing the book in Marietta. And this is 76 to 80. 1980, April Fool Day, because this is what this has been. I was force-fed antifreeze and should have died. Illegally taken across the state line to Alabama, Huntsville, Madison County, where I worked for the district attorney, Fred Simpson. I mean, my life has been an ongoing hell. I was told not to just talk about it. I thought it was because of the book I wrote. I found out later I was kidnapped and brought to Moulton, Alabama from Buckingham Palace and given the name of a dead twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey Childers. Now then, I'm going to mention this again and try to get this in. I came back here because really they run me from place to place, and I'm dragging suitcase, backpack, because I lived on the Appalachian Trail and froze and starved. Now then, I came here. They ran me off is really what they did, the Shaws and Patels, when they came in and bought it in probably February this past year, now 2014. And what they did then to me is hideous. I was pulling my stuff from one room to the other, getting soaked with fumes. So I left. I had to leave like before. That's like the retired state trooper said, this is how we move you. Carl Barton did, with chemicals. His wife did, Linda. Anyway, I came back here. I've been here a week yesterday. And I had 3 days. I had to move from the other place, same reason, lose my food. But my health is what's so bad. It's taking my organs out. It's not like taking a gun or a knife and killing me outright. They're doing it over time. and get that I've gotten away with it. It's a joke. But I called Choice, and as far as I know, they've had nothing to do with this other than booking me here for the 3 days that I had from staying here before. I didn't know I had them. So I came in, and this Kim was the one that checked me in, and she put me in this room, and it's almost where I was before here at Quality Inn, Third Lane Road, Roanoke. And I was here a couple of days, and everything was kind of okay. And I went for a walk, and I could walk around. And I thought, wow, nice to be able to walk a little bit. Came back, and the fumes had started. And I'm not going to get into how you do it. People can use their mind. When you can get to a maintenance man or the person that owns it or whatever, and it makes me run around. I can't get an attorney because of who's involved in it. And anyway, the power went off, and it's cold here. So I couldn't see. I called and told her the power's off. Well, she was going to move me to the only room at the time, she said, a couple of doors down, which is the old story, only this time I didn't say anything about the fumes. They're going to move me because they cut the electricity off. That's the only reason. Now then, she calls me and says that she'll move me to that room. Well, I pulled a couple of things down there, and I have my belongings in here, what little I've been allowed to put back together after moving so much. And so I couldn't get to my belongings. She said I couldn't occupy two. She couldn't have a guest occupying two rooms. My God, I wasn't occupying two rooms. All they had to do is flip the switch and turn the power back on. So anyway, she come and got the key from me, and I'm in the other room. So I go up there a little later, and they're changing shifts. Well, I'm not going to say what. Instead of trying to be nicer, I didn't do anything. The power was off. So in comes the manager. They don't have somebody to cut the power on. I'm the only one that's power's off. Tell you what they did with it. If you could hear what they said to me, I can hardly walk. I'm 76 years old from this crap. The owner comes in and says he'll cut the electricity on. So I sit down and talk to him, and I couldn't believe what he said. He said, you complain. I've heard about your complaining. You're putting it on, I don't know if he said social media, but he said I was complaining to everybody. I put it on social media because the law is part of doing this, and on Facebook. So anyway, I could not believe what was coming out of his mouth. I thought if you were being raped or your throat cut and you were begging, that's what I've been doing is begging, because you would never put a person in a room with a wasp when they are allergic to wasps. Now, they put me deliberately. This is totally deliberately. I respond only when I inhale toxic fumes. I should live anywhere and have a normal life. So I've been force-fed them. My body's torn down. So now then, I haven't said another word to them. I've gone over. They have a little breakfast before anybody comes, 6 o'clock in the morning or 6:15, come back to my room and stay. For the 20 days, I had hoped that I'd have a place to live. Now then, the electricity just went off. This is Sunday afternoon. The only thing on was a light and my, I wonder how much other people have on. But this is totally because of who I am. And I called her and I said, my electricity just went off. And she said, well, I have someone come over and turn it on. Well, they did, and I didn't call her or anything. It came back on. The only thing I had, this leaves me explaining. I haven't done anything. They're told to get me out if the fumes don't run me out, and I'm left. I die on the side of the road is really it. But she called me after the power was put back on. I didn't contact her. It was on. She didn't call me and ask me. It was the same black woman, Kim. She says, this is the word she used. She says, what are you using that's overloading? She didn't use the word overloading the circuit, I don't think. She said, that's making the power go off. She inferred that. And I said, I told her what I had on. And I even mentioned I shouldn't have, that I had brought a little bitty stove, which really doesn't use any wattage. But I didn't have it on. I've had it on a couple of times, briefly with